What's up? What's up? How we doing? Good morning. Come on in the building. I haven't decided if I like the vertical view. It's a lot of face. But what's up, witches? How we doing? Good morning. Come on in the building. Hey, Tiki Customs. Hey, Star Chunk. Hey, Aksurman. Hey, D. Santina Ruiz. Welcome, welcome. Everybody, drop your business info in the chat so we can say what's up and follow you and all of that good stuff. Hola. What's up? What's up? Drop your business info in the chat. Let all of the other witches in the room know what you do. I'll shout you out. Make sure folks know what you're all about. Okay. Let's follow each other. Let's share information. Let's share resources. Let's grow our network. Okay, we've got the Honeycomb Network in the building. Honeycomb Network, tell me what you do, my love. I see Tiki Customs in the building. Tarot Reader, also available or listed on the BronxWitch HQ Find a Witch directory. Okay, we have an online directory on my shop's website to help people get in touch with witches, right? Because we are, if you don't know who I am Alysha Kravetz, aka BronxWitch. I am the owner of BronxWitch HeadQuarters, which is a co-working space for spiritual practitioners here in the Bronx, New York. We offer reservable tables and private rooms for tarot readers, Reiki healers, massage therapists, yoga teachers, plant medicine facilitators, breath work facilitators, pretty much anyone in the spiritual wellness space that needs a professional aligned space to take their clients or teach classes, lead workshops and events, etc. And it's important for us to be able to put people in touch with the healers, with the readers, with the mystics that are out there, because we are a space for those folks, but we don't provide those services out of the shop. So when people come our way and they're like, oh, I'm looking for a place to get a tarot reading, I'm looking for a Reiki healer, I think I need a cleansing in my home, there's something weird in there, we want to be able to refer them to the witches that we know. So I set up a directory on my website so that I can easily show people reputable practitioners that they can go to. So we have a card box and like a poster board in the front of the shop where people can put up flyers about their events, they can leave their business cards, etc. But then we have a virtual version of that where anybody who is a practitioner in the area, hey Aaron, can list themselves on the directory and make it, easy to find them. And then when you apply to be on the directory, we ask you how long you've been a practitioner. We ask you for 3 references, and we, yes, do call your references. So if you are looking for a practitioner and you go on my website and you go on the directory, you can be sure that while those folks don't work for us, we have done our due diligence to make sure that they have the experience that they say they do, and they have some clients that can vouch for them. So shout out to Tiki Customs, who is definitely on the directory. And there are several other amazing practitioners on the directory. I'm on the directory, but there are many others, some local to the area. If you live in New York City, you need a physical service, or if you're virtual and want to connect with someone. So check it out, BronxWitch.com. Just click on the Find a Witch directory button and you'll be able to see all of the different witches and practitioners and readers that are listed there. Okay. Who else is in the building? Drop your business info down below. Let us, hey, Sacred Womb Connection. Hey, Life of Kelly. Hey, Moon Kiss. Hey, Minnie Blue. Hey, Rare Pearl. So what do you do? Shimmy with a smile. Ooh. Okay, what do you guys do? What are your businesses? What types of spiritual services do you provide for the folks? Oh, absolutely, Tiki Customs. I love your I like watching your content. I like watching your posts and your lives. Hey. Sacred Womb Connection said, hey. Drop your business info down below so I can shout you out and share you with everybody. Is it a rainy day where you guys are? It's a rainy day here in New York City, so I'm in my Fenty onesie today. I'm Fenty'd out. I got Fenty underneath the onesie too, so shout out. Shout out Fenty. Really love. I remember when the Savage by Fenty like brand dropped. And I was like, I went to check out the lingerie and I was like, yeah, this is not for me. Or I shouldn't say lingerie. Well, I guess it's lingerie, which is what I should be expecting, right? But anyway, I'm not necessarily like the biggest connoisseur of lingerie. And so I like to get pieces that look good, they make me feel good, but they're comfortable and all that good stuff. So her stuff was just a little too sexy, for like my everyday wear. But her sleepwear and stuff, like the pajamas and the onesies, mm, can't get enough. And the quality is outrageous. Like it is such a nice, thick fabric. Everything is so well made. Like this zipper is going to last forever. The little knobs on the ends of the sweatshirt, like these are not going to pop off in the wash. Very, very good quality. Pockets, because Okay, Sacred Womb Connection does womb healing. Okay, awesome. Can you tell us more about that? How do we reach you? Like, what's the service? Do you do yoni steams? Is it like Reiki womb healing? Is it trauma based, like talk therapy for womb healing? How do you go about giving those services? Because I know so many of us are in need of that. Hey, Sylvia. Hey, Flowers by Emmy. Drop your business info down in the chat. Welcome to Tuesday Tips. Share your business info when you come in the room. Let us know who you are so I can shout you out. We can follow you and be your next client, customer, follower, fan, all of that. And while that's happening, hey, Crazy Maven Nail Studio, welcome, welcome. I imagine you do nails, but tell us a little bit about that. Where are you located? As you can see, I could probably use a trip to the salon. But I am super excited about Friday, you guys. And not just because it's Black Friday and I'm going to be offering all of my classes for 50% off. All of the classes in my online portal will be 50% off on Black Friday. So not just because of that, I am also super excited about Friday because I am going to be teaching my 7 pillars to a profitable spiritual business webinar at 7:30 p.m. on Friday this week. And I was going over all the material last night and I was just like, man, like if someone had just broken this down for me when I was starting, like all of the work that I did that I would not have had to do is unbelievable. But as I have been on my journey and as I have been helping other witches with their spiritual businesses, it's become clear to me that there's basically just like boom, 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 these 7 things that you just need to put in place in order to make sure that you're able to get the reach that you are looking for and that you're able to make the revenue that you are looking for. And there's so much out there. There's so many people talking about business because life is business, right? Business is how we're able to talk right now. Business is how I'm dressed right now. Like business is everywhere, but not everything is relevant to you, the spiritual practitioner, right? Like I have taken classes on business that really, after I was done with the class, is when I realized that, like, oh, this is really for someone that's like going into tech, or like this is for somebody that's got like, before I had my physical location. This is really for somebody with like a brick and mortar. This is really for somebody that is doing like a different type of service. And sometimes you don't realize that until it's a little too late. You know, you might think you need something. Like I remember in the beginning, I was so freaked out about having an EIN number. I was like, oh my God, I have to have an EIN. I can't even get started on my business because I need to get an EIN. I need to get an LLC. I have to do all of these things. And I'm so grateful that I found, because I had to go find them, I found people who could break it down for me and let me know, like, oh, actually, no, you don't need that. Or like, you don't need that right now. Or like, yes, you could get that, but you could also just do this. And that was huge. The millions of pieces of information out there about how you could be running the business part of your spiritual business just may not be relevant to you. So it feels really good to break down the 7 things that you need to know and need to put in place if you have a spiritual business. You are a solopreneur. You don't necessarily have 10 employees. You don't necessarily need workers' comp insurance. You don't necessarily need a website at the very moment. Like, there are 7 key things that you need to put into place, and you will be able to generate revenue and have the reach that you are looking for. And like, it took me, the whole trial and error, the whole last 5 years to like do stuff that I didn't need to be doing, pay for things that I didn't need to be paying for, and realize like, oh, I don't need that. Or like, oh, I'm not there yet. Like, one day I'll need this. One day this will be great. But that's not going to help me reach more people. It's not going to help me make more money right now. And that's what I need to do. And I think that's the key thing that is specific about how I approach things, because I'm working a couple of my clients right now that are taking my 6 weeks to launch program. People who want to launch their spiritual business in 6 weeks. Like, we do not start with the complicated stuff that's going to take weeks and cost you a lot of money. We start with putting in place the very like introductory bare minimum things that you need in order to be able to communicate to your clients, find the right ones for you, and then make it convenient and transparent for them to pay you for what you do and for you to deliver what you do. That's where you have to start. Okay, so if you don't come to the webinar, that's okay. But I want you to keep that one little nugget in mind, that if you are starting your spiritual business, the most important thing is getting the clients, like getting to them, finding the people that actually need what you provide, and setting up a way for them to easily, conveniently, and clearly be able to understand what you provide and then purchase that from you or book you for that. That's what you need to do. If you do nothing else, that is what you need to have in place, because all of the other things that you do in order to grow your business will probably cost you some money. They might cost you some time. And it's way better to have clients, customers, and revenue coming in to support those efforts than to try to dig into your own pockets or into your own reserves in order to set all of those things up that ultimately are helpful and in some cases might be necessary, but are not necessarily going to bring you closer to your clients and have them booking or buying from you. So just keep that in mind, okay, witchpreneurs? It's so overwhelming. It can feel like there's so much you have to do. I need a website. I need, an LLC. I need this. I need that. And the reality is, you need them, but not necessarily today. Okay, and having somebody break down what you do need and what order you should be doing them in, I think is the most like advantageous thing about having a coach or somebody in your back pocket who has done it before, so they can tell you like, yes, you can do that, but like, do this first. Do this first. This is going to get you that next client, that next customer. So do this first. So I'm excited to break that down for my witchpreneurs. So if you want to be in the room for this webinar, if you want to learn the 7 pillars and learn how to put them in order for you so that you can expedite the process of getting closer to your customers, your clients, and generating revenue so you can do all the other stuff with your business that you want to do, then you can just comment pillars in this live. You can comment that in the comments on the replay, or you can click the link in my bio and get registered. And I will see you Friday night at 7:30 for that. Okay? Anybody in the room coming to the webinar? I got a message from somebody who said they had trouble with the link, that they were registering and they had trouble. So might be, Mercury is in reggaeton. Okay, Mercury's in her micro braids right now. Okay, because we have, I think, 40 people registered already. So I know the link works. So I got to look into that and see what happens. But go ahead and comment pillars. And I'll send you the link to get into the room for the for the webinar. It's totally free, 7:30 on Black Friday. I couldn't think of a better time, right? While everybody is out there spending their money on a bunch of crap that they don't need, we are going to be in the room talking about how to make money so that we can bring our services and our gifts to the world without struggling to do so. So let me know if you want to get into the webinar, comment pillars. And today's Tuesday tips, if you don't already know. Hey, Ashley. Oh, yes, girl, pillars. Okay. See you there. If you don't know, this is Tuesday Tips. I go live at 10-ish every Tuesday morning to share some knowledge for all of you who are interested in spiritual business, turning your spiritual gifts into a business. If you're a tarot reader, Reiki healer, a crystal jewelry maker, if you make candles or herb bundles, if you want to open up a brick and mortar, physical location, I share tips that will help you to do that. But the thing is, I don't choose the topics. I go to Spirit and I pull cards at the end of each of these lives and I ask Spirit what we should talk about. And the message that was given to us last week was entertain. Entertain. And this is something that we will talk about in more depth in the webinar because, of course, one of the pillars is marketing. So, spoiler, one of the 7 pillars is marketing. And this is the pillar that I think brings most people the most stress. So drop an emoji down below if you are stressed out at the idea of marketing, especially social media marketing. Does it confuse you? Does it feel overwhelming? Does it frustrate you? Do you feel like you have to learn like the latest TikTok dance to get people to pay attention to you? Do you feel like you offer value to the world and you can't get through all of the noise and all of the distraction that's on the internet? Because I know I have felt that way. I have definitely gone through periods of frustration where I was just like, oh my God, fuck this. Like, I'm not learning TikTok dance. I'm not even on TikTok, by the way. Like, I'm not learning some silly dance. I'm not doing some trending thing. Like, I'm not trying to be funny and like whatever in order to get people to understand that I provide, like, I will make you money. You know what I mean? Like, I am good at what I do. As a tarot reader, I have been reading for 15 years. I am a diviner. I have, in my readings, channeled messages for people that have saved their lives. No joke, not trying to like whatever, but I'm going to talk my talk because I know how good I am at what I do. I have saved people's lives through the messages that I have received through Spirit in my tarot readings. I have changed people's lives dramatically through my Reiki. I have changed this entire neighborhood that I live in with the business that I have opened. And I help people make money from their spiritual gifts so that they don't have to choose between going to work and healing their communities. Like, I know I'm good at what I do, and I know that what I do brings immense value to people. You mean to tell me I have to do a fucking dance or something in order to get you to pay attention to that? Hell no. That shit is annoying to me, right? And that's what I thought. That's what I thought for a long time. Okay, Ashley's dropping emoji, so you feel it. right? If anybody else feels that way, drop an emoji too. Like, you know that what you do is something good for people and you know that they would benefit from it. And yet, marketing seems like a whole bunch of gimmicks and bells and whistles and bright colors and nonsense in order to get people to pay attention to you. I was so frustrated by this idea that I took a 30-day break from this page. This year, around my birthday, I was like, you know what? I need a break because I feel like I'm trying everything. I'm doing every type of post. I'm trying to keep up with the trends. I'm trying these different styles. I'm trying to keep up with Instagram and their freaking algorithm rules and their features that change every day. I'm following the Instagram guy, the CEO, to listen to what the hell he has to say. And I'm just overwhelmed because I feel like I'm spending more time making content about what I do than I am doing what I do. Ooh, that's one. Drop an emoji if you feel that way, because I know a lot of people have to feel that way. Do you feel like you are spending more time making content and trying to entertain people than you are actually doing the service that you're talking about or making the products that you're talking about in your content and in your marketing? I think that happens a lot. And I want to help you guys with that today because Spirit says so. Spirit said, I need to help you to understand how to entertain and educate your audience. So that's what we're talking about today. But does anyone feel that way? That's how I felt. And I would get really frustrated. I was like, I'm literally spending more time marketing and going online and talking about readings, talking about my business, talking about things, than I am actually like doing that work. And that was really frustrating to me. So, how do we fix that? How do we entertain and educate in a way that feels authentic? Okay, in a way that doesn't feel silly or gimmicky or trendy, in a way that doesn't feel like, you know, I don't know, like it's forced. You know what I'm saying? Like you're forcing something. Because ultimately, if it is forced, if it is inauthentic, not only are you not going to want to do it, are you not going to have your heart in it, but people are going to feel that. Like, give people some credit. People are going to feel that. Okay. Hey, Aloha Mommy. Hey, Biggie Swole. What's up, Samantha, darling? Hey, Classic Nas coming in the building. Drop your business info down below so we can share what you do on my Witchpreneurs. But people will feel that. They will definitely be able to tell if you are, doing things to try to get their attention, or you're trying to, follow some type of trend or put yourself into a box that's not really real for you. And I took a 30-day break. Around August. Yeah, pretty much the whole month of August. And I didn't think it was going to be 30 days. I was sitting at my altar talking to my guides, and I was like, well, maybe I just do 2 weeks. Maybe I do a little 2-week break. I just need to take a break. And then that 2 weeks turned into a month. And I'm really glad that I took that full amount of time because I needed to like reset and reconnect. And what happened during that month was I found my passion, which I think is a little bit different from your purpose. And when you tap into your passion, I think the idea about entertaining as well as educating starts to become like really clear. Okay. Hold on. It's raining and I want to like get the rain vibes. Let me open the window. Yes. Okay. Anybody else love the rain? I think it's a witchy thing. It's one thing we all have in common. We love the moon and we love the rain. We're an emotional bunch. So when I took my break, I feel like my purpose was revealed to me several years ago. When I realized that my purpose for being here is to help other witches on their journey by being a representation of something that maybe they don't see very much. I get a lot of comments on my YouTube about, people looking for hoodoo, people looking for information about tarot, people looking for just witches in general, and not finding enough witches of color. I think that's changed a little bit, but when I first started, that was definitely the case. It was a lot harder to find witches of color. It was a lot harder to find witches in like urban environments, right? So when people went looking for that, they couldn't find it. And when they found me, it was like, oh my God, yes, here's a Black witch. Here's somebody who lives in a city, urban environment. She's not like, a white woman in a long dress in like the grassy groves, Hey, V, welcome. Drop your business info down below when you come in the room. This is somebody that I can relate to. So I got that type of messaging a lot from people. And I realized that that was my purpose, that was why I had experienced the things that I had experienced in my life. It was why I had the particular gifts I have. It was why I had the developed the skills that I had, that I am here to help the next witch to see how to move forward on their journey in a way that actually makes sense and is relatable. And particularly when it comes to BronxWitch HeadQuarters, my physical location here in the Bronx, that is something that I am doing for witches of the Bronx, which I am and I was a little witch, a little teenager witch in the Bronx, always having to go to Manhattan, Brooklyn, always having to travel outside of this area to find the things that I needed. I realized that I am here to be the catalyst for that no longer being the case for the next witch. So that's my purpose. But then when I took this 30-day break from social media, my passion was revealed to me. Because what I did during that time was I got outside. And shout out to my homeboy Perrin, who is the owner of The Bronx is Beautiful. If you want to follow them on Instagram, they're _Bronx_is_beautiful. The Bronx is beautiful. But Perrin is a tour guide and historian here in New York, and his focus is on the Bronx. And we met a couple years ago, and he is just incredible. And he is actually the tour guide for the Staycation Witches Retreat that I do every October. He leads us on our nature hike and teaches us about the history of the indigenous people and the land. He's phenomenal. And he was like, you got to get outside. Like, I want you to get outside and interact with more people, because you're always at HQ, you're always in your shop, but I need you to get outside and start telling people about what you do, because this place is incredible. And more people who are spiritual, who are magical, they need to know that you exist. They need to know that you're here. So you got to get out and start talking about it. Hey, Miraculously Melissa, let us know what you do. Come on in the building and drop a chat about your business. What do my witchpreneurs in the building do? I want to know so I can follow you and I can make everybody else follow you too. So he was like, you got to get outside. Come spend some time with me. Like, let's hang out. I wasn't going to go out for my birthday. He's like, let's go out for your birthday. Like, let's get out into, the world and just see what it does for you. Like, just give yourself a change of pace, a change of energy. And it was hugely eye-opening and very relevant to how I show up on the internet. Okay, House of Verity. Hey, V. I'm excited to have you at Tea and Tarot, my dear. I'm V from the House of Verity. I do readings, but I have my eye on podcasts, events, comedy, and documentaries. I love that. I love that so much. Did you see the Witches documentary that came out last year? Lilith Dorsey was featured in it. And I had a very brief cameo that I didn't know I was going to have. And people started sending me the footage, and it was so cool. But in the documentary, when they're talking about witches on the internet, they showed me and my YouTube channel. Yes. Oh, you have it? Okay. I forget the name of it, but literally just Google like witches documentary. Oh, I want to say that the network was maybe TCM. No, that doesn't make sense. Why would Turner Classic Movies do that? TNT? Damn, I'm totally blanking on the network. Okay, but it was like a big documentary. Okay. Yes. Okay. You've seen some clips. Okay. Good, good, good. Watch the whole thing because I'm in it for like 3 seconds. People started sending me the footage. They were like, "Did you know that you're in the new witches documentary?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" And I guess when they were talking about like how things were changing and witchcraft was being talked about openly on the internet and stuff like that, they shared a clip of me and my YouTube channel, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you guys know about me?" So that was pretty cool. But I love the idea of doing documentaries and comedy, witchy comedy. That when comedians do like a witchy bit, it always makes me feel so seen. So I love that. Super, super, super love that. Everybody go follow V from the House of Verity. Okay. Let's keep in touch with V and see what goes on with this witchy comedy situation. I want to follow and see what that's all about. So when I took this break, I got outside. Okay. I went outside. And if you are feeling overwhelmed and frustrated about making content for your spiritual business and doing marketing for your spiritual business, I want you to consider taking a break. And I saw somebody post about this, but I was afraid. All right. I was afraid to do it. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. And the person said, if you are feeling overwhelmed and detached from your marketing, if you feel like you are making stuff just to make stuff and it's not generating results and you're feeling like you're, on a rat wheel doing it for no reason, it's overwhelming you, whatever, you need to step away and take a 30-day break. And I was like, a 30-day break? Like, I got to eat to live. What do you mean? I can't go away from social media for 30 days. Where are you? Shh. Do it. Do it. Hey, Harvest Moon Kindred, what's up? What's up? Come on in the building. Do it. Take that break. I was so afraid to do it, and it has changed the game for me. Okay. I took that break, and not only did I not lose any followers, not only did I not lose any customers or clients, I probably grew about 2,000 followers in that 30-day period. And I probably tripled the amount of clients I had and customers at my shop. Okay. I had my highest sales month ever the month after my 30-day break. Highest sales month ever. Okay. So all of my fears about like, oh my gosh, if I disappear off of my page, nobody's gonna follow. They're gonna, be like, oh, she must have given up, whatever. They're gonna forget about me. None of those things ended up happening. And instead, what happened was, first of all, I got the rest so desperately needed. I cannot tell you how good it felt to wake up in the morning and like not pick up my phone. I cannot tell you how good it felt to pick up my phone and have a real conversation with my sister or a friend instead of doom scrolling for an hour. I would periodically check on my page just to make sure I didn't have any like DMs or messages that were important. And then I would turn it off, and it felt so freaking good to do that. So freaking good to do that. So, the first thing that I will say about the message the Spirit wants us to talk about, entertaining and educating our audiences, is to first of all take a freaking break. I promise you it's going to change the game for you. It doesn't have to be 30 days if that really truly doesn't work for you, but there's something really like special about that 30-day rotation, like that month, giving yourself a full month so you can start fresh is really clutch. So I highly recommend it. Okay. And while I was away for those 30 days, instead of staring at my screen, watching what everybody else was doing, comparing myself to other people, freaking out because they're posting this many times a day and I'm not, or they've got this level of quality of video, or they've got this type of editing, or they've got this many followers, or they're getting this much, like, instead of having all of those intrusive negative thoughts coming into my head and fucking with me and distracting me from my real purpose, which is not to make content, but to serve my community. I was able to like come back to being online with a clear vision for myself. Okay. So I know that that's what's happening to a lot of you because it's natural. We're human beings. We're going to see what other people are doing and we're going to compare ourselves. Okay. Hey, Mrs. So Nice. Hey, Scuzz. Hey, Eat with Your Hands. Witchpreneurs, drop your businesses down below. Let us know what you do. Come on in the building. It is natural to compare yourself to other people. That is going to happen. Okay. I think it's just a human trait. And especially if you are entrepreneurial, especially if you are somebody that wants to turn your gifts into business, because that means you're naturally kind of a competitive person. You're a go-getter. You have goals. You want to get there. And when you see other people reaching those goals, it can be demoralizing and deflating and frustrating. Okay. So taking the break not only will give you a lot of rest, it's going to help like detox all those negative thoughts that are creeping in your head that are telling you that you can't do it, that are telling you that, you got to do the next viral video, that you got to do the next trending thing. It's going to help you detox from all of that, like jealousy, that comparison crap, all of that stuff. It'll help get that out of your body and out of your mind. And what happens when you detox all of that negative comparing yourself to other people, you start thinking more just about yourself and about the people that you care about. And that's what happened to me. During that 30 days while I was off the internet, I was outside. I was outside in my neighborhood. I was going to events. I was going to pop-ups. I was meeting up with people. And I was meeting more and more and more spiritual entrepreneurs that I didn't even know were right here in the Bronx or Harlem, Manhattan. I didn't realize that there were so many people right around here that were selling crystal jewelry, that were selling herb bundles, that were making spiritual skincare, that were leading, yoga meetups in the park and meditation circles and sound bowl sessions and things like that. I was looking at the internet, but I wasn't necessarily like right in my very close vicinity, which is important for me because my business is a physical location that serves exactly those types of people. And as I got out and spend more time in the real world and off the internet, I realized like how much of a fire it lit inside of me to talk with these types of people. Other witches, other spiritual people that were trying to bring what they offer to the world in the form of a business. I was like, yo, y'all are my people. Like, I am you, you are me. Where you been at? Like, how did you not know that I was here? And they were like, well, I'm right here. And I realized like I was so on the internet thinking that that was the way to reach the people that were like me, that I didn't realize that the people that were like me were right around me. And I didn't see that until I put my freaking phone down, okay, and started actually getting out in my neighborhood. So that was hugely eye-opening. I also went to a couple of events and I also competed in a pitch competition. Like I really did a bunch of things that the hours that I spent online worrying about marketing myself was taking me away from. And I was so shocked when I went to compete in the pitch competition. I walked in it was a really big location that it was in, but like the main room was like a gymnasium that had been turned into like the meeting room. I walk in, and the first person I say hello to is the host of the event, somebody named Kami well, Gomez, I think is her last name. She's a pretty well-known host here in New York City. And I went to say hi. Hi, how you doing? I'm competing in the pitch competition. And I was like, yeah, I'm the owner of BronxWitch HeadQuarters. And she goes, oh, BronxWitch? Oh, I follow you. I know you. I know your shop. And I was like, what? So the people right around me were, connecting with me. And I wasn't realizing that because my brain was, in internet world. So putting down my phone, taking a break from the internet allowed me to connect with the people right around me. And I kept having conversations with people who were trying to start their businesses, who were doing pop-ups, who were doing, online sales and different things like that. And they're asking me questions. Oh, how did you open your location? And oh, what do you guys provide? And oh, yeah, like I do festivals in the summertime, but like in the wintertime, there's not a lot of those. And I'm talking to people about how they could throw their next pop up at my co working space, how they could have their next meeting or their next workshop or class at my pop up space. And I probably made more meaningful connections in those 30 days that I was off the internet than I ever have. No lie. And I realized that my purpose is helping witches on their journey, but my passion, like what really gets me going, is interacting with other entrepreneurial witches. Like that's just who I am. I've always been somebody that takes themselves very seriously, that takes what they do very seriously. And I like being around other witches that are like that. I like being around other witches that are like that. And I want to help those witches. Okay. I'm not here for the wannabes. I'm not here for the sometimes. I'm not here for no, I'm here for the witches that are serious about turning their spiritual gifts into businesses that they can live and thrive from. I'm here for the witches that take themselves seriously. And I got really pumped up when I realized that about myself. And that unlocked something in me that was there, but that I didn't really understand or like really fully grasp. Oh my gosh. And when I came back from that 30-day break, I was like, oh, now I know who I am talking to. Now I know who I want to attract to me. Now I know how my skills and my life experiences can help them specifically. There are all different types of witches that are in all different places in their lives that have all different types of goals. And I just want to talk to the witches that want to build businesses. That's it. Just them. And then this whole question of entertaining and educating got answered. So that's the next step for you. The reason why I advocate you take a break is because it will allow you to get really clear on who it is you are here to serve. And once you know who you are here to serve, then entertaining and educating them becomes crystal clear. When I realized that I am here to serve the witchpreneurs of the world, the pressure to learn a TikTok dance went right out the window. The community of people that I'm here to serve don't give a damn about me dancing on the internet. That's not entertaining to them. So if you feel overwhelmed about the idea of being entertaining on the internet, there might be a disconnect between who actually you are talking to. Because if you are talking to people who are like you, if you are talking to people that you are passionate about talking to, if you're talking to people that you can relate to, the same things that you find entertaining, they're going to find entertaining. Okay. And I don't find TikTok dances entertaining. They don't appeal to me. If I see one, I see one. Oh, that's cute. Oh, wow. Okay, that was dope. But I'm not scrolling through a bunch of those. I'm not on that platform. I'm not looking for that. I don't find that type of thing particularly entertaining. And guess what? Neither does my audience. Because my audience is just like me. So when you clearly define and identify who you are here to talk to, who your people are, you never have to worry about faking entertainment. You never have to worry about doing what other people are doing to be entertaining. Being entertaining doesn't mean being entertaining to everybody in the world. Being entertaining means being entertaining to the people that you relate to, and they are going to be entertained by the same things that entertain you. So when I came back from that break, I was like, you know what? I want to go live every week to talk about spiritual business tips because that entertains me. That's what I watch. If you were to walk in here right now, what am I going to have on the YouTube? I'm watching podcasts. I'm following other business people. I'm watching their lives. I'm taking their webinars. I'm taking their free classes. That is legitimately entertaining to me. Harvest Moon Kindred said that makes sense. Yay, I'm glad. It was like a mind blow moment for me. Because you feel like you have to do everything for everybody. You feel like you got to like all the bells and the whistles and like, should I have this on the screen and this music and trend and blah, 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 blah. But when you know who you're talking to, when you find your people, you find your tribe, you identify who that is, then the question of how to entertain them gets answered really easily because all you have to do is do the type of stuff that you find entertaining. So that's when Tuesday Tips started because I was like, I really love following other witchpreneurs. I like following other people in business. I like following people that are talking about, student loan debt and trademarking. And like that interests me. That's me. Okay. Because I don't have the time or the resources to go and get a business degree. I am teaching myself how to run a business in real time, school of hard knocks style. So I have to get as much education as I possibly can. So I like listening to uplifting, motivational people who speak to small businesses and entrepreneurs. I like listening to people that can tell you, keep going, don't give up, it's going to be hard. I like listening to people who tell me tips and tricks for how to run my business cheaper, easier. I like listening to people that talk about how to be smarter with your money, how to overcome challenges you might have had in your life. I like that. That is genuinely entertaining to me. So when I came back from my break, I said, I'm going to make content like that. That's entertaining to me. And that's where Tuesday Tips started. And we are on our 7th or 8th Tuesday Tips. Okay. And I never have to stress myself out about a trending dance, song, whatever, because that's not who I'm talking to. I'm not talking to people who find that type of thing particularly entertaining. All right. Shout out to Adwo Addo, real estate agent in Pennsylvania. Oh, okay, real estate agent. Yes. If you're in the Pennsylvania area and you need to handle up on that house purchase, shout out to you. Follow Adwoa at Adwoa the agent. Okay, will do. Let me see. Let me make sure I'm following everybody that is sharing their businesses. I know I'm following V. I know I'm following Tiki Customs, of course. Let me follow Adwoa the agent. Bam. Okay. And I think I'm already following Sacred Womb Connection, but let me just make sure. Yes. Hey, Whitney. Bam. Got you. Okay. All right. So Harvest Moon Kindred said, that makes sense. Does that make sense to everybody else? It's all grounded in our authenticity. Yeah. Yeah. And that authenticity, like, comes from really getting clear about who you are and what you want to bring to the world. Oh, okay. Did you guys see that on Instagram? I saw it on my streaming thing. There were fireworks for some reason. Okay, yeah, there they go. Yes, okay. Adwoa says that makes sense. Okay, so that was a mind-blowing moment for me. Mind-blowing moment for me. All right. And I think that this is important to understand. Hey, Terrell. Hey, Nova. Positive Pathway Counseling. This is your private practice. Oh, what kind of counseling do you do, Babs Bunny? Let us know. Let us know. So this is super important because it is true that you have to entertain in order to draw people in and keep them engaged. This is true. Okay. But when we think of entertainment, we think of goofy, silly, substanceless. And entertainment does not have to be substanceless. Entertainment is not synonymous with silly or goofy or, insignificant or lacking weight. These Tuesday Tip Lives, these are entertaining. Live streams are entertaining. It's just entertaining to watch people like in their environment, just like talking about stuff. Okay. But you're getting education while you're here. And even if I wasn't talking about something educational specifically, like we weren't talking about a topic, I know that when I watch other people that I look up to, I admire, that that are teaching me things, when they go live, sometimes they're in their kitchen cooking. Sometimes they're like in their living room, like getting ready for bed. Sometimes they're doing their makeup to get ready for the day. And I still want to tune in and watch the live. Why? Because I'm still learning. I'm still gathering information. I'm like, oh, okay. So, I see she has those caraway pans back there. I wonder if they really work. That person might be in their bedroom putting on their makeup for the day. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, that's how she be doing her eyebrows. I was wondering because they look good. Okay. Even when you don't think you're learning, you're picking up little tips and tricks, and also you're being inspired. I follow a lot of people who have made more money in their businesses than I have yet. Right. I follow a lot of people that are further along in their entrepreneurial journeys than I am. And watching them inspires me. It inspires me to see them like get in a certain vehicle or have a house that looks a certain way or be at a specific type of event or know certain people or have certain experiences or get awarded for things like or get on the cover of a magazine. Like when I see that, I'm inspired. I'm like, yeah, that's me. I'm next. I'm up next. That's going to be me next. And I want to see that. I want to see how these people are living their lives behind the scenes for real, because you see, the stuff that they put up, but I want to see what's really going on. And that is entertaining. They're not dancing, they're not being silly, but I'm entertained by that because it's going to get my attention. And also, it's educational. So when Spirit says that your brand should entertain and educate your clients, Spirit is not saying you have to be goofy doing dances that don't feel genuine to you, nor is it saying that you have to always be teaching a webinar or a class or, stressing yourself out about creating like the world's most perfect guide before you can get out there. No. Both of these things become super, super easy when you know exactly who in the world you are trying to help and you just start talking to them only. Okay. I have had this channel for 5 years. And in that time, things have changed. When I first started BronxWitch, of course, I was just sharing glimpses into my life as a witch, as a practitioner. Headquarters didn't exist yet. I hadn't opened my business yet. And so there are a lot of people that are still following me from then, even before then when I was on YouTube and didn't have an Instagram yet. There are people that are still following me from there. And those people are not particularly entrepreneurial. They're not interested in starting spiritual businesses. They started following me because they like seeing what a witch is doing. They like having witchy people in their, stratosphere. They like watching witchy content. I love all of those people very, very much, but I'm not talking to them anymore on this platform. And what that has done for me is it's taken away the pressure of trying to make content for them. And they can still follow me and I support it and that's great and I love it. But they could also not. And that's okay too. So get really clear about who your audience is and where your passions lie in terms of helping people. I think sometimes we come at the question of, who will pay me? I think sometimes we come at it from a perspective of how do I make myself wide and broad so that everybody is, a potential customer? But you actually shoot yourself in the foot when you do that. And I'm going to be talking more about this in the webinar when I talk about the pillar of marketing, because the very most important thing that you can do is to clearly define who you're speaking to and to have a specific person that you're speaking to. And I know that a lot of us have fear about that because we're afraid that if we get too specific, that we're going to have such a tiny group of people that we're talking to that we're not going to have clients, we're not going to have customers. We want to leave ourselves open to absolutely everybody because we're a little bit desperate. We're a little bit desperate to get clients. We're a little bit desperate to get customers. We're a little bit desperate to get followers. Okay. But that desperation is going to lead you to try to do everything. And you're going to overwhelm yourself and work yourself to the bone. And you're going to make stuff and do things that are not genuine and authentic to you. And you're shooting yourself in the foot with that. Because not only are you not finding the people that really need you and giving them what they need, you're also overwhelming yourself unnecessarily. Right? There are 8 people in this room right now. There are 25,000 followers on this page. I am only talking to the 8 of you that are in here. And that means I don't have to worry about what the other 25,000 people are doing or what they want to see from me or what would entertain them at 11 in the morning, what would get their attention. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Okay. And my next client, the next spiritual entrepreneur that wants to launch their business in 6 weeks, or the next person that wants to learn from me, wants to come to my webinar on Friday, the next person that wants to take one of my classes on email marketing or on spiritual principles or on the ethics of being a spiritual practitioner is in this room right now. I know that because somebody already commented pillars to get into the webinar. Okay, so do that for me, please. All right. Do that for me, please. Are you patriotic? I would say so. Do that for me, please. 1, take a break. Put your phone down and take a break. And not a fake ass break, a real break. Like announce it to your page if you need to. Step away from your social media for 30 days. If you're feeling this way, if you're Gucci and you're like, I got it, I know who I'm talking to, I got my niche, I'm talking to them, they're talking to me, I only make content that's relevant to them, I'm entertaining them, and I'm also educating them. If you're good on this, you got your marketing pillars set up, you're good, don't worry about it. But for those of you that feel overwhelmed about marketing yourself online, for those of you that are frustrated because you're making content that nobody is watching, that you're doing things that nobody seems to be listening to, that there are 10 or 20 different types of things that you could be doing online and you don't know which, and you're trying to do them all. If you are in that situation, start by taking a break. Detox from the social media. Get those negative thoughts out of your mind. Get that comparison, that jealousy, that, I have to do everything feeling. Let it run its course through your body. And it takes a minute. It really does. Realize that the internet, everything we eat, everything we watch, everything we listen to, we are consuming, and it's coming into our bodies. It's coming into our energetic bodies, and it's coming into our physical bodies. Okay, you think you're just scrolling online and it's not doing anything? It's absolutely getting into you. Hey, Terrain, how we doing? Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, V. Have a beautiful class. It's getting into you. You're carrying that with you. All right. So you need to detox that out of you. Put your phone away, uninstall your social media, whatever you have to do to control yourself from being on it compulsively. Get off your page, put up a post. I put up a post when I took my break. I said, I'm taking a break. Okay, you can put up a post and step away. And while you're away, allow yourself to actually do the thing that you are trying to do. Get in it in the physical world. Go out and talk to human people about what you are doing, and allow yourself to identify clearly not just what your purpose is, but what your passion is. What really excites you. Pay attention to the things that you watch and that entertain you during that time. Oh, yes. Okay. Getting an approval on the message from Spirit right now. All right. Get back in touch with that. Who are the people that you are really passionate about? Chances are it's not everybody. There's a specific group of people that you are here to serve, and you might have lost sight of who that is. Or perhaps if you're just getting started, you might not have clearly identified who that is just yet. And you're not going to do it when you're being bombarded 24 hours a day by what's on the internet, because you're going to be looking at what everybody else is doing and thinking you need to talk to those people or you need to do it like them. And when you come back, I promise you, you're going to know who you need to speak to, who your audience is, who you really care about helping, who your skills are going to assist. And then this whole question of entertaining and educating becomes super easy. Super, super easy. Okay. Because yes, entertaining and educating is important. It is important to balance the two, but how you do both is going to be really, really clear when you know who you're talking to. Okay. The people that I am talking to, my audience, the spiritual entrepreneurs that I want to reach, they are not any more interested in TikTok dances than I am. So I will never have to do one in order to entertain them. I will never have to do one in order to educate them. Make sense, y'all? We got it? Do we understand Spirit's message of entertain? Do we understand that it does not mean following all the trends, doing everything that everybody else is doing? It does not mean becoming a comedian or a TikTok break dancer. You know what I'm saying? It does not mean any of that. Hey, Anthony. Anthony says, amen. Okay, that makes sense, y'all. Good. Good. So before we go to Spirit to receive a message for what we will talk about next week, I want to remind all of you that I will be giving my 7 pillars to a profitable spiritual business free webinar this Friday, Black Friday at 7:30 p.m. EST. A lot of the material that we just talked about is one of the pillars that you need to have in place in order to reach the people you want to reach and make money from your spiritual gifts, build businesses that are sustainable from your spiritual gifts. And that is the marketing pillar. Okay, that's an important thing to have in place. And marketing is probably the most overwhelming pillar for most people because it's just, oh my gosh, right? But when you clearly define who you are speaking to and what it is that you want them to know, marketing yourself becomes so much easier. What platform to be on, what type of content to make, how often to post, what to talk about, all of these things become super, super clear. And the pressure to do everything goes away. So marketing is just one of the 7 pillars that I am going to be teaching you in my webinar so that no matter where you are, whether you're just getting started or you've already launched your spiritual business, you know that you have all 7 pillars in place and you can be certain that you are going to be able to build a business that you can thrive off and perhaps replace your 9-to-5 with if that's your goal. It's a totally free webinar. Comment pillars in this live and I will send you the link. You can comment pillars down in the comment. Or, of course, you can go to the link in my bio and register. All right, witches. So let's see. What does Spirit want us to talk about next week? Y'all. All right. Well, we are continuing on with this conversation. Next week, we are going to be talking about clarifying, getting clear on what activities and online platforms bring in your best clients and customers. Spirit wants us to focus our attention there and ignore distractions. What did I just say? Listen, take that break. Okay, take that break, but be here for Tuesday's tips. Okay, tune into the Tuesday tips because I did that when I took my break. I didn't post online, but there were still people that I came online to watch. There were certain lives and stuff that like I watch all the time because they're dropping gems, they're dropping knowledge. There's some people that just really entertain me and give me a good time. I follow Boots Tarot. Shout out to Boots. Okay, shout out to Brandon Roberts, aka Boots Tarot, somebody that has become a friend over the years, someone whose career is incredibly impressive, someone who has really clearly defined who their audience is and does nothing on the internet but talk to them, and it's beautiful to watch. Also very entertaining. There is shout out to my homegirl Tasha Tarot over in the UK. I absolutely love her readings. They're always so powerful. They're always so interesting and entertaining. She's a funny girl. She's got a super cute dog. And so there were people that I came online to watch, but otherwise I was not posting myself. So make sure you come back for Tuesday tips, even though I'm telling you to take a break, okay? But take a break from the posting, take a break from feeling like you need to do everything, take a break from the doom scrolling and watching everybody else's posts and feeling, insecure or inadequate because your stuff doesn't look like theirs or you're not getting as many views as them. Take a break from that. Step away from that shit, okay? So that we can get clear on which of the platforms are best for us and how to bring in the people that really value you. And I'm definitely going to be talking about this in the webinar when we talk about the marketing pillar, because this is so key in order to prevent you from being burnt out and from watering down your message and being all over the place, okay? The more laser focused you are, the better. So clarify, where's my camera? Clarify is our message next week. Perfect segue from today's message, we're going to get deeper into how you do that. And I'm going to tell you how I decide which platforms to be on. Okay? Because you do not need to be on all of them, and you actually probably shouldn't be on all of them. Okay, there are particular platforms you're going to want to be on, and I'm going to tell you what each of these platforms is really good for, so you can pick the one that's right for you. And then we're going to talk about how we focus our attention and our intention to really maximize those platforms to find the people that are going to value us. Okay, so I'm excited to talk about that next week, but you're going to get even more information than what I can share in my Tuesday tips at my next free webinar. Is going down on Friday, Black Friday, on the 29th at 7:30 p.m. Everyone who registers gets the replay. Yes, before you even ask. Okay, but you got to make sure that you're registered, because once the webinar is over, it won't be available anymore. So you need to register in order to have access to the replay. So if you're not available Black Friday because you're going to be out shopping or whatever, just make sure to register and you'll have immediate access to it. I'm going to be breaking down these 7 pillars that you need to put in place in order to have a profitable spiritual business. You're a reader, a healer, a mystic. You want to have a physical storefront. You want to sell candles, herb bundles, crystal jewelry, all of that. And you're not yet making enough revenue. You don't have enough customers or clients that you can make it your full-time job. I want to teach you why that is happening and what you need to put in place in order to make that happen for yourself. It's all going down on Friday. Okay. All right, witches. I had a fantastic time with you all as always. Absolutely love this. Do me a favor, share this live, okay? Hit that little arrowy button at the bottom of it and share it with the next person, okay? I know that many of you know other spiritual practitioners that you may not realize are in need of help, okay? And they might follow you. You might not even talk to them, but go ahead and share this in your stories. Let other people know about this so that they can get the help that they need. All right. And I will see the rest of you back here next week, Tuesday. Yes. Enjoy the rest of your day. You are so welcome. You are so welcome, GS, reaching out. Appreciate you. Have a beautiful rest of the day, which is blessed be.